KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Hitano program, proud supporters of the Give Us a Moment Island Pride Beautification event. Cars Plus reminds you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads Up Guam, McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on primetime, mass testing is set for one Catholic school after a teacher tests positive for COVID-19. Plus, arriving this morning was the first Philippine airline flight from Manila since a COVID-19 emergency declaration. Nestor Lecanto has the story. And reaction to an investigative subcommittee probe of Guam Congressman Michael Sinicolas. Tomas Manglotnia reports.
Hafa and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. He's taking one matter to the higher court and now taking another measure on the double pay issue. Attorney Tom Fisher is suing Attorney General Liban Camacho. This afternoon, Attorney Fisher filed the lawsuit after the Office of the Attorney General failed to provide documents related to his FOIA request. According to court documents, a FOIA was sent on May 26th asking for all communication between the OAG and the Office of the Governor on GovGuam employee payments from March 2020 to date. In addition, all communications between the OAG employees concerning GovGuam employees' payments made on any social media platforms. Further stated in court documents on June 12th, the OAG responded with few records and stating that several records are exempt from disclosure based on various legal privileges. Now Fisher is asking the court to demand the OAG turn over all the documents. KUAM reached out to the OAG for comment, and as of news time, we have not received a response. Mass testing on schedule this week for St. Anthony Catholic School after a teacher there tests positive for COVID-19. But parents in the school community alarmed at a letter sent by school principal Robert Cristostomo yesterday that said anyone who came to the school from May 22nd to the 29th should notify the administration. Cristostomo telling KUAM's Containing COVID that the late notice wasn't his fault.
I found out Friday because I didn't know anything prior to this. And we closed school on Monday. The only time we could have reacted was really the weekend. So that letter went out timely on Monday. The school was closed. So I think the question here is, why did public health take so long to inform me that one of my teachers was actually contracted the coronavirus? That's troubling to me because as soon as they test and they get the results, inform me. I could have taken action immediately.
Cristostomo says he's not even sure St. Anthony will be able to reopen in July with other Catholic schools. But he did say that the testing efforts slated for Thursday will include teachers, staff, and St. Anthony parish workers.
We're doing everything we can to keep our students safe, to open with a safe environment here at school. This Thursday, we're actually going to have mass testing going on from 9 to 12 over here by the church, St. Anthony Church, encouraging all our teachers, because I can't mandate they come in and get tested. But I think it's prudent if we ask them to do a TB test before they start teaching. I think they should do a corona test prior to entering the classroom with the students.
Cristostomo said he doesn't think a significant number of people came to campus the week of May 22nd to the 29th, but he did admit there was traffic from parents coming in to pay tuition and handle other school matters. Public Health has shut down the Tamuning School until further notice. The number of COVID-19 cases on Guam went up by 1 today. According to Public Health's updated situation report, the one new case tested positive through the Department of Defense. The new case is a man between 30 to 39 years of age and is a non-resident. He was identified through contact tracing. Meanwhile, community testing was conducted this morning in the village of Pidi. KUAM stopped by to see the operations and spoke with Public Health's nursing administrator, Margarita Bautista Gay.
Today is a smaller village, but a great turnout. Since 8:45 we were able to start, and so we did the interviews, consent forms at the beginning to consent for the services, Then we ask the different questions.
According to Gay, nearly 200 specimens were tested at the site today. KUAM also spoke with local musician Joe Guam after he was swabbed.
But it doesn't hurt, so it's uncomfortable. You just gotta kind of take a deep breath and just relax for a little bit. But yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's like kind of like an ant bite, or not really a bee sting, more like an ant bite, but just uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt though.
And why did you decide to come out here and get tested today?
Just for sanity's sake, you know, we just wanted to see if we're good to go or not.
Testing will get underway tomorrow at the Santa Rita Senior Center from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You do not have to have any symptoms to get tested, just bring an ID. And as of today, the current count of COVID cases is at 186. The first Philippine Airlines flight from Manila since the COVID-19 emergency declaration arrived early this morning. But because the Philippines is still deemed a hotspot country by public health, all of the passengers are subject to a mandatory 14-day quarantine at a government facility. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The passengers on PAL Flight 110 first cleared customs, then had their temperatures checked, and had initial screening done by public health. They were then turned over to the National Guard, which escorted them aboard public works buses for transport to their quarantine facilities. In the case of most of them, it was the Wynnum Hotel in Tamuning. National Guard spokesman Mark Scott.
We assist them with their baggage. We assist them if they have any questions. We're there to provide customer service. If they have any medical needs, we bring that to the attention of the nurses who are also available.
Of the 134 passengers, 127 are at the Wynnum, and because of an overflow, 7 are at the Ocean View Hotel.
They were aware that since the Philippines was deemed a hotspot, that they would be going into quarantine. So there were no real surprises. There were no incidents there, and everyone was nice and compliant. We had no issues.
The passengers, most of whom have been away for 3 months, now have another 2 weeks before they can go home. Because of the quarantine, they are confined to their rooms, but relatives and friends can drop off items through the guardsmen.
Here we have at this front table at the reception area 2 soldiers that will accept deliveries from families. And the hours for deliveries are from 10 to 12, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and then from 7 to 9 p.m. Exceptions can be made if it's medical, if there's medicine that needs to be delivered, things of that nature, but those are the hours. If there's anything that we can do to help the families have a more comfortable stay, our guests have a more comfortable stay, please stay in touch. Let us know and we'll be as accommodating as we can be.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Certain Tuman hotels are starting to open up ahead of the possible relaunch of the tourism industry in July. The Hyatt Regency Guam is among those that are gradually restarting operations with an eye toward welcoming back guests by July 1st.
As of this week, the Hyatt has reopened 2 of its F&B operations, the deli and the Niji Japanese restaurant. Sales and Marketing Director Madel Cosico says at the Niji, because of health restrictions, there won't be the usual self-service buffet. Instead, the chefs will do the serving as customers go through the line. Seating has also been cut down from 120 to 60 max to maintain social distancing.
We have been very active with our cleanliness and sanitizing every areas in the hotel, including the back of the house and the front of the house most especially. And also we have some barriers that we implemented in the restaurants to make sure that there is a protection and it's safe for our consumers.
The Hyatt plans to open the other restaurants and the hotel itself by the beginning of next month. To welcome back guests, they'll be offering staycations for local residents at a special rate with early check-in, late checkout, and access to the pool.
We are continuously getting a lot of inquiry about when are we going to open, and so July 1st is our opening date, and we do have some local specials available as well. So we will be presenting it to the community by the end of this week. We're all very excited. We're all very happy that we are opening. So please come and join us.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
They may have been given the green light to reopen at limited occupancy, but child care facilities like the Giving Tree Daycare are opting to keep closed. According to Lonnie Tamindong, representatives from the industry had been in dialogue and even had a subcommittee with the Physicians Advisory Group to discuss guidelines for reopening. She says they were surprised about the announcement Sunday that they could reopen at 25% capacity. Tamindong says the guidelines that were given by public health are not practical.
I don't think anyone really was looking at this like, okay, we're going to open them up and they're going to be able to operate. It just doesn't happen that way. 25% our capacity, including a staff. That's to include a director. When we operate a child care, a director has to be on staff, and they're not counted as a ratio towards the children. So we're looking at an average child care that holds, well, let me just look at one of my centers.
Right.
We have 42, our maximum capacity is 42. So we're able to have 10 people in the center, and that's to include staff. So we have our director, then we have to have our teacher, a teacher's assistant, and it depends what age group is coming back, because now we have 4 different age groups. We have an infant room, we have a pre-toddler room, we have a toddler room, we have a pre-K room. So they're not looking at it this way.
Taimandong says they are hoping to discuss the matter with public health for clarification, but haven't been able to get a hold of them. And you can watch the full interview immediately following our newscast. As many await for what could be a months-long probe into a laundry list of allegations against Delegate Michael San Nicolas, more public officials are weighing in. Here's more.
As an investigative subcommittee probes allegations against Delegate Michael San Nicolas, disarray seeming to pierce Guam's Democratic Party.
It would still give him the benefit of the doubt because he still is entitled to the due process.
That benefit doesn't include FaceTime.
Have you or the governor had any conversations with the congressman? I mean, actual conversations or talk, phone call, anything like that? Zoom?
No, for me, not, no.
He says the investigations need to run its course. GOP's Juan Carlos Benitez weighing in on KUAM's COVID-19 special report.
The allegations that Congressman San Nicolas is facing are extremely serious on their own. And if they're true, we all agree his career in politics is probably done.
While they've worked across the aisle to reach some legislative victories, he says he wants to stay focused on policy. And he agrees that the investigation must be carried out carefully.
And let me tell you, if he's guilty of committing the things that are alleged, that's the end of his political career. And it's a pity, but I am upset and tired of this politics in Guam where you run for public office and the first thing they do is a smear attack on everything that you relates to you or your family.
KUAM reached out to the U.S. House Ethics Committee for comment. Staff Director and Chief Counsel Tom Russ responded, no comment. For Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Manglona.
Late this afternoon, the CNMI and Guam Attorneys General issued a joint press release announcing that they are petitioning to form a coalition with Hawaii to combat drug trafficking, seeking high-intensity drug trafficking area designation under Hawaii's HIDTA. The AG submitted their petition to the National Office of Drug Control Policy on June 12th. According to the press release, the program provides financial assistance, support, and law enforcement intelligence. Guam AG Levin Camacho stating, quote, this time we recognize that working with the CNMI and Hawaii would be the most effective way of disrupting the flow of the drugs into our islands, unquote. The AGs note that the region's limited resources and proximity to Asia are reasons to ramp up efforts to respond to drug trafficking and other crimes. And stick around for more news here on Prime Time. Coming up next, we have a huge victory in the U.S. Supreme Court and the battle for LGBTQ rights. Stay tuned. You're watching KUAM.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Well, we've all been through a lot over the years.
Typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19.
We've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years. Calvo's Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
And the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
It's not always easy trying something new. Sometimes you have to help your loved ones along. Nana is so used to her weekly trips to the bank that going online can be a little scary for her. But her grandson knows that banking online is safer and easier. So he's teaching her how to get started using Bank of Guam's online banking videos. Teaching is one way to show our loved ones we care. Keep your family safe at home and show them how to bank online. Find easy-to-use online banking tutorials at bankofguam.com or on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Bank of Guam, member FDIC.
Gather round, the Cravings Pack from Taco Bell. 4 crunchy tacos and 4 beefy 5-layer burritos, paired perfectly with all your Taco Bell favorites. So grab a Cravings Pack for your crew at Taco Bell's contactless drive-thru.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
In regional news, our Tomas Manglotnia gets a behind-the-scenes look of the front line at Saipan's COVID-19 laboratory. As new travel quarantine protocol is expected to be announced, hospital CEO Esther Munoz says they're holding steady.
This is the COVID testing specimens on Diaplex come into this room first. Then this room here is used to mix up the reagents, so they do what's called the master mix in this room.
KUAM News going behind the scenes of the COVID-19 laboratory on Saipan. On the front line, Dr. Philip Dowderman says the public health response is in full force.
While the community-based testing was going, it was at least 90 a day, and some days 200 to 300 a day or more. When it first started, it was like 300 or 400 a day, and then it kind of slowed down after that.
With 5 testing platforms, the Commonwealth now aims at testing half of its population through a village-based initiative. Hospital CEO Esther Munoz says building capacity was not easy.
We were worried that those people that were not coming in may have the virus and are further, infecting other people. So we wanted to it became a very high priority for us to get enough testing capability.
Munoz says staff at the hospital are often tested with new guidelines. She wants to reassure the public that as the economy gradually reopens, the hospital is ready to hold the line.
We have the hospital capacity, increasing our ACS, the alternate care site. Having that ability is that at the end of the day, it's about saving your life, and that's what we're doing.
Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Saipan.
A major victory in the battle for LGBTQ rights. The U.S. Supreme Court rules that the federal law protecting workers on the basis of sex also applies to transgender people. Natalie Brand has the story from Washington, D.C.
In a landmark decision for LGBTQ rights, the Supreme Court ruled employers cannot discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. In a 6-3 ruling, the nation's highest court made it clear the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that bars discrimination on the basis of sex, race, color, origin, or religion protects gay and transgender workers.
It's been a long journey, but we finally made it here.
We interviewed plaintiff Gerald Bostock when he traveled to Washington for oral arguments last October. He says he lost his job in Clayton County, Georgia, after joining a gay softball league.
I did nothing wrong, and now I have some validation in that.
Bostock's was one of 3 cases heard at the court that day. Amy Stevens, who says she was fired for being transgender, wrote a statement before passing away last month, saying in part, "I am glad the court recognized that what happened to me is wrong and illegal."
We can go to work and not have to be in fear that being gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender will now be a blank check for employers to discriminate against us.
Sharon McGowan of Lambda Legal has been litigating these cases for more than 15 years. She says the significance of today's ruling, it will create a uniform standard nationwide.
It doesn't matter whether you work in Illinois or Missouri. It doesn't matter whether or not you are in Ohio or Indiana. You will now have the full protection of federal law.
Justices Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, and Brett Kavanaugh dissented. Justice Kavanaugh wrote, "We are judges, not members of Congress. Our role is not to make or amend the law." But in the majority opinion, Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote, "An employer who fires an individual merely for being gay or transgender defies the laws." Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
As the island begins to reopen businesses in the tourism industry, in this week's Health Check report, we are reminded the importance of wearing face masks.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
We are still in the pandemic. We are not behind us.
Dr. Bala is the Deputy Chief Medical Officer at the Arkansas Department of Health. While there is still no vaccine for COVID-19, he says there's some evidence face masks are nearly just as good at containing the virus.
There are studies for seasonal flu.
COVID-19 spreads the same way the flu does, mainly through respiratory droplets. So Dr. Bala says these studies offer great insight. One study found no difference between vaccination and face masks in keeping children from getting the flu.
History repeats itself.
Face masks were also a major player at containing the spread when the Spanish flu broke out 100 years ago.
At that time, we didn't have vaccines, so face masks were promoted.
Now, as for what type of face mask is best, a simple piece of cloth just like this one that covers both your mouth and nose is really all you need.
Cloth mask is as good as any other mask.
These cloth masks will help to contain the virus when you cough, talk, or sneeze, even if you don't know you're a carrier.
Asymptomatic carriers carry a lot during this pandemic.
But masks are only effective if everyone is wearing one. And just remember, doing so can help protect your neighbor. In Little Rock, Melissa Zigowitz, THV 11 News.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Coming up, we have this morning's Good Note from Containing COVID with Sabrina and Chris. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
More freedom. To learn more. To create more. To connect more. Mix and match Data Pass. Take your data further.
and safety is our business. Protect your employees and customers with APEC Professional Services. Our certified team uses EPA-registered disinfectants and CDC-approved procedures proven to aid in the fight against coronavirus and other harmful microorganisms. Prevent reinfection through disinfection. Call our office at 477-7310 or our 24-hour rapid response hotline at 858-2852. Keep Guam safe with APEC Professional Disinfection Services.
That's when Lil' Mama came through still in lust. Whoa, she off the rate scale, she had me shut. Yeah, but if you single tonight and can't find your friends, then I hope you don't mind me asking. Do you wanna dance to the music? Do you wanna rock to the beat of the drum? and we could cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Baby, we should cut her up.
This morning during Containing COVID, Chris and Bree spoke with the owner of Southern Mountain Gear about some of the things they've been up to.
And today we want to bring on Dan from Southern Mountain Gear. Dan, we're going to pop these pictures up. Good morning, Chris and Sabrina. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
We're going to throw these pictures up, and I guess you just take us to the beginning. Southern Mountain Gear. You guys had an elevation of, was it a virtual elevation challenge? And you also were able to raise some money for people who need it. So we'll just give you the floor here. You got a few minutes to take us from the beginning to the end, Dan.
Awesome. So obviously with the COVID-19 hitting our island pretty hard, there's a lot of people that have kind of hunkered down in their houses. And as an outdoor gear shop, we wanted to do some kind of a challenge to get people outside, get them active again. So we proposed this 14er challenge. A 14er and stateside is a name for a 14,000-foot mountain peak. Obviously, we don't have any of those here on Guam. So we said, let's do this as a virtual challenge, $20 to sign up, and then all proceeds can go to a couple of really great causes. The event was to climb 14,000 feet in 7 days. If you finished, then the shop donated some plaques to the finishers, and it just ended up being a really awesome event. We raised $1,040 for the Heart Foundation, which is an animal rescue group, Happily Ever After, and the Learn Chamorro project. My buddy Troy is working on an app for learning Chamorro language. So a couple neat causes, and we're just really happy about the event. It ended up turning out great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm just wondering here, 14,000 feet in 7 days. How many mountains on Guam do you got to climb? Like, what do you got to climb? Like 50 mountains to make 14,000 feet? What's the conversion?
so Mount Lam Lam is like 1,020 feet, 1,028 feet. So that would be like starting down at the coast, right, and climbing all the way up, say the Seti 7 waterfalls, and then continuing all the way up to Mount Lam Lam, and then doing that about 14 times in a week. So that would be twice a day.
You down, Bree?
What's that?
He was asking if I was down.
I mean, I could start from the road, dude, but to start from the coast? Like, what? Who's trying to do that?
14 times twice in a day?
Twice a day, yeah.
Okay, well, you have Kmart Hill here. What about that?
Yeah.
How many times is that?
We've actually run that. That's a little...
There's been people that got all 14,000 feet on Kmart Hill that week, and I don't know how many times they did it, but it must have been in the hundreds.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment. We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
With Grand Marnier, you'll dare to put a twist on the traditional. That will lead you to somewhere unexpected. Somewhere you can create something better than good. Here, you'll create something grand. Grand Marnier, a visionary blend of fine cognac and bitter orange liqueur. Live grand.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, my friends, we have 4 new inductees into the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, so we welcome on this June 16th and say happy birthday to Araya Lani Marie. Happy sweet 16 to our daughter. We're so proud of you. You're growing up a beautiful young woman. Continue to stay focused and stay prepared to meet life's adventures as well as life's challenges, okay? With lots of love from Mom, Dad, your brothers and familia on Guam, in Texas and Washington State. Happy birthday number 7 to Sage Evan Napoti Mendiola. To my grandson, coming from Grandma Jennifer, Kian, Kaylee, Ava Rose, and Mom and Dad. Also, happy birthday wishes going out to Tony Tayana, who celebrates birthday number 26 today. We love you, son, and we love you to the moon and back. Say Mom, Dad, Maria, and the rest of your loving familia. And a belated birthday wish going out to Loriana Rose Cabrera, who's born on June the 10th. Happy belated birthday, Sissy. Love, Sis Rosie, and the girls. You guys are the newest members of our club, so happy birthday to each and every one of you.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and be safe.
Keep it on the phones here. I want to bring Lonnie Tamandong on from the Giving Tree. Lonnie, good morning.